Vaping is becoming more and more popular, especially among teens, but many say this new trendy habit isn't any different than smoking. Carl Schmid from California Spotlight chats with an expert all about this youth epidemic.
This is the California Spotlight, sponsored by the California Department of Public Health.
Hello there. Did you know that between 2017 and 2018, vaping has jumped by almost 80% among high schoolers and by almost 50% among middle school kids? Today, we're focusing the California Spotlight on a very important topic, the epidemic of teen vaping. Joining me today to help give us more of an insight and information is Dr. Pam Ling. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Ling, and sitting down with me today. Dr. Ling, this is really alarming. After years of decline, teenage use of tobacco products has spiked. And in the last year, the U.S. Surgeon General is saying that vaping is now a youth epidemic?
That's right. The U.S. Surgeon General has called the vaping increase an epidemic among youth, and is really calling upon parents and teachers and health professionals and others who care about kids to really take action on this epidemic.
Wow. Okay, so help us understand the danger. What is an e-cigarette? What does it look like? And how are our kids getting their hands on them?
Yeah, so e-cigarettes are devices that heat a liquid that contains nicotine into an aerosol, and the aerosol is inhaled. So they often contain a battery, a heat source, and then these days mostly a little pod that contains nicotine liquid.
So give me the stats.
Well, tobacco use among youth has been going up, we think driven by the vaping epidemic. So young people in 2018, about 4.9 million young people were using tobacco products, and that's up from 3.6 million in 2017.
Tell me more about the effects.
Teen brains are actually quite vulnerable to addiction because the brain is still developing until you're 25 years old. In addition to addiction, nicotine can increase other effects like anxiety, irritability, mood swings, and learning difficulties.
So how did this become a youth epidemic?
Young people are really attracted to these products for a couple of reasons. First of all, the products look cool. A lot of the new ones look like electronic devices or school supplies, so they spark curiosity. Second, the products come in interesting flavors. So 4 out of 5 teens say they started vaping because they were curious about the flavors. And then finally, the products contain a lot of nicotine. This contains the nicotine.
How much nicotine is in that?
This has the same nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
An entire pack, and how long will that last you if you're vaping?
If you're vaping, it can last up to a day.
Okay.
We do have some teens that use 2 of these a day.
Wow.
That's like smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. So while a teenager is just experimenting with the flavors, they may not realize they're actually being exposed to large amounts of nicotine and their brain is getting addicted.
So that leads me to my next question then. Why are kids at greater risk of nicotine's harm?
Yeah, well, nicotine is a neurotoxin that kind of hijacks the learning mechanisms in a teen's brain. So every time you gain a new skill or learn a new fact, and teenagers are in school because their brains are really set for learning, all of the things that make it easy for teenagers to develop new connections in the brain and synapses, which is learning, also makes it more vulnerable to nicotine, again, developing synapses and creating an addiction.
There's a lot of really important information for us to digest here, Dr. Ling.
It sure is. Luckily, there's a website that contains more information. So if you want to learn more about vaping, or you want to see what the products look like, or you want to learn how to take action either in your school or in your community about this problem, you can go to flavorshookkids.org and learn about it.
Thank you so much. Remind us of that website again.
It's flavorshookkids.org.
flavorshookkids.org. Dr. Ling, thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like more information on anything we've discussed in today's California Spotlight, go to flavorshookkids.org. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.